Hello, everybody. I'm Sarah Gloss, and welcome to a highly anticipated episode of A Bro's Guide to Glitter. Today's topic is astrology. We'll be talking about the history of astrology, each of the zodiac signs, our own charts, and figure out what that says about our compatibility. Today's guest is someone people have been begging me to have on the show. It's a kind of weird story how we met. One day, my parents were like, hey, you're getting an early birthday present. And I was like, yay. And I didn't realize that it was months earlier than my birthday when they were telling me this, because I was like 3 and didn't understand time. So when it gets closer to my birthday, we go to the hospital. And out of my mom comes this weird yellow thing. Like, it was literally yellow. You know that episode of SpongeBob where there's that lady who's so old, she like looks like a worm and she's in a wheelchair? That's what this thing looked like, but yellow. And I was like, oh, weird present, mom and dad, but like, whatever. And I like kind of got annoyed with it and actually tried to like return it and like exchange it for something else, but they wouldn't let me. But it eventually developed sentience. So that was weird. And now it's a junior at San Mateo High School. He plays trumpet in jazz band. He does improv and he does theater. You probably last saw him as Barfay in Spelling Bee at San Mateo High School. And he is a total weightlifting devotee. It's Joseph Fraser Gloss.
Hi. A thing? A yellow thing? I think you ought to have more gratefulness for me. You know, I'd rather be a thing than be nasty. So boom, roasted.
I am grateful for you, Joe. I am grateful for you. But I mean, you gotta admit, I remember when you were younger and you saw photos of yourself after you had just come out and you cried.
And, you know, it's one of those things, though, you have to admit, is it's like you were told that you were going to have me, but I was never told that I was going to have you. So if anything, you got the better situation out of the two. When you think about it, you know?
Too good. Anything to say to the fans or the haters?
Yes. You know, if you disagree with statements that are said, it's fine. Look, opinions are opinions. You know, you're always welcome to share with me. I would just prefer no texting, no Instagram DMs. If you really want to send me a message, just Venmo me and just put your message in the Venmo and I'll get back to you. Thank you.
So, in other words, Joe's available for tipping.
Yes, exactly.
How does it feel being the youngest guest yet on this podcast?
You know, it feels, I don't know how to answer that question. I mean, it just feels so nice to be welcomed on here. And apparently there were multiple people who said they wanted me to be on this podcast. So I guess I'm glad to just do what I can do for others.
Yeah, indeed. Shout out to Jane.
Oh, is that the only one?
No, I think there were like more people. Like, I think Georgia asked. And maybe a couple other people like asked, like, not for you, but like if you were going to be on. But Jane was the one who was like, you got to have Joe on the podcast. And I was like, bruh, of course. Of course.
Well, because the way you described it made it seem like a whole mass of like people, like Moses and the Israelites leading Egypt wanted me to go. You know, it's like, Jesus, this is some holy expedition. So I came, but guess not. But anyways, what's the topic of conversation, Sarah?
Thanks for asking, Joe. The topic of conversation is astrology. So we're going to talk about our own charts later and your opinion on it and all. But let's jump in with a word association game. So I'm going to put 15 seconds on the clock. And in those 15 seconds, you're going to say every word that comes into your mind when you think of astrology. Are you ready?
Oh, I'm born ready.
All right, go.
Chugi, sitting at a cafe having an existential crisis, but remembering that you're a Virgo, so you're supposed to get through it. Number 3, having no friends. Number 4, coming to hasty generalizations. Number 5, making smart decisions, though. Number 6, thinking that you know what's going on, but you really don't. But number 8, just telling yourself it's all going to be all right.
Ding, 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 ding. Because you're a what?
Well, I was gonna say because of your like star sign, like, oh, but I kind of already repeated that earlier,
Perfect. Well done. Well done. Thank you. So, just to give a historical overview of astrology, astrology can be traced back as far as the second millennium BC, and astrology has played major roles in many civilizations and religions, especially for the Mayans, early Hindus, and early Chinese. Western astrology, as we know it, was mainly developed in ancient Greece, the Roman Empire, Arab world, and Mesopotamia. Astrology remained important throughout the medieval period and Renaissance, when court astrologers used the stars to best predict when a monarch should act or when a prince should be born. I don't know why we stopped doing this, but it probably went out of fashion with the scientific revolution,
Yeah,
when
it's funny.
empiricism and positivist thinking became prized. So let's move on to our first topic, which is
Hit
talking
me.
about each sign. So the idea with zodiac signs is that the sky is divided into 12 sections. And as planets move through different parts of the night sky as relative to Earth, they are traveling through the different zodiac signs. So the zodiac sign a planet's in affects the mood of whatever aspect the planet rules. So Mercury rules communication. So if Mercury is in Libra, communications are affected more towards feeling diplomatic and fair. And the idea is that the way the planets are aligned when you're born affects how you are as a person. So when people ask for your zodiac sign, they're asking what zodiac sign the sun was in when you were born. And to find the answer to this, you can just search up your birthday, or to get your full astrological chart, I recommend going to cafeastrology.com and entering your birthday, birth time, and birthplace. So let's just go through the 12 zodiac signs and talk about your opinions on them. You ready?
Oh my goodness. Okay.
What do you mean, oh my goodness, bruh?
Well, I mean, I'm ready, but it's like it's gonna. I can only think of a couple too, so I'm gonna be like basing off what I know of those people to those signs, and it feels kind of very critical. So, but I'm ready. I'm
Okay,
ready.
okay. Want to start with water signs?
Sure.
So the definition, or like not the definition, but a description of water signs I found online is that they are exceptionally emotional and ultra sensitive. They are highly intuitive, and they can be as mysterious as the ocean itself. Water signs love profound conversations and intimacy. They rarely do anything openly and are always there to support their loved ones. And this is Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio. So
So I have a question with the water
go
signs.
ahead.
Are you giving that as an information spiel to all, or is it just to me?
It's to all and to you.
Okay, because I was just gonna say if it's for me, I don't really need it necessarily because like you've been talking about this since
Yes,
I was shot
everything.
out of the womb.
Everything I've been saying is like, scripted
Oh, okay,
for the
okay.
listeners
Oh,
and to
okay, for
guide
the
our
listener.
conversation. Okay, okay. But so, want to talk about Cancer?
Yes, let's talk about Cancer.
Okay,
Um,
so our mom is a Cancer.
yes, Cancers are very, 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 very. They're like a diverse group of people. Like that's what I feel like with. I mean, everybody like in all
Mm.
signs you're gonna get diverse group of people, but with Cancers that I really like, in my opinion, is I found myself very compatible with Cancers. Um, I think they're really funny, but I like the Cancers that I know well are funny, but they're also hardworking and really trustworthy. Some of like the most trustworthy people in my life are Cancers, actually.
Aw, that's a very sweet notion. I too uh bode well with Cancers, but I think whereas for me it's because I'm a Scorpio, so I'm also a water sign. You just like are surrounded with a lot of water sign
Literally,
people.
exactly. And then
Yeah.
the other one, the Pisces,
Hmm.
I do really like Pisces. I think they're fun to have. They're like a great people to have fun with, but they're
Hmm.
not always. I think when my experience with them is my click with Pisces aren't as strong as with the other signs, but I
Hmm.
would say maybe they're more at the top than at the bottom. I like
Yeah.
the water signs more than other signs.
It's interesting. A couple things. First off, you like aren't a water sign, but you click with water signs. And I remember we looked at your chart and you had actually more water overall in your chart than air because you're a Libra. And
Literally.
I click more with air people, I find, but like Scorpio is water, but I have more air overall in my chart.
Yeah.
But of course, we'll get to that later. But it's interesting that like you say all that about Cancer versus Pisces, because Cancer, I feel like the stereotype is that they're like the soft, like baby, and they're the most feminine sign and therefore like the most motherly. So, but that also kind of means they're like a crybaby at times. And so like the dark side of it is that like this like soft babiness can like maybe be manipulative. It's just the means.
Right. But but what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to see the glass as half full, not half empty, because later on with with all the signs, I'm going to see them half full. But even with other signs, when I see them half full, it's like my perspective of that sign is still
affected
poor.
By like people,
Exactly. So anyway, should we move on? Because I know.
Yes. And then Pisces.
No, we already did Pisces.
I know, but I wanted to give my opinion on Pisces.
Oh, sorry. Excuse me.
Of course. Like I feel like the big stereotypes about them is that they're like dreamers and like creative, but they kind of have like cycles of like, being like showing their soft side and showing their like water signness, but then also trying to like hide it.
That's a great way I would describe it, actually. I agree. Okay, and then Scorpio. So yes. Scorpios, I've noticed there are two types of Scorpios. Okay. I think there's they've got like a really nice side, but they also have a side, like the side that's not good is I think I've noticed with a lot of Scorpios is they can be kind of fake ass people. Or not, but they kind of have a side that's like a little fake. But I really like their good side. Like they're really like bright people. The ones that I like, they're kind of chuggy, but I really like them. Aren't you a Scorpio? Comment,
excuse you. You said that chuggy thing knowing I was a Scorpio.
Well, I swear I forgot. I had no idea. It's crazy. I found out about astrology today. I swear.
Yeah, right. But well, because with Scorpios, they like are known for keeping secrets and holding grudges.
That's what I'm saying, kind of fake.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't say fake.
But no, well, some of them I do. Some of them. Okay. I mean, I do know that they. Not you, but some other people.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. And because it's supposed to be like the dark side of the water signs that like Scorpios have all of the like emotions and like deepness and softness of the Pisces and Cancers, except they bottle it all up and hide it and won't let anyone see it and comes off as like tough and mysterious, but also very sexy. But secretly, they just want to be coddled and loved.
Okay. Interesting.
Fire signs.
Okay, yes. Do you want to give me is it time for your monologue again?
Yes, it is.
Ladies and gentlemen, and non-conforming peoples, here is fire signs.
So, fire signs tend to be passionate, dynamic, and temperamental. They get angry quickly, but they also forgive easily. They are adventurers with immense energy. They are physically very strong and are a source of inspiration for others. Fire signs are intelligent, self-aware, creative, and idealistic people, always ready for action. So that's Leos, Sagittarius, and Aries. So let's start with Leos. I feel like, go ahead.
What, do you want to, well, you were about to say, I feel like, so I want to let you have an opportunity to say what you were going to say.
Oh, thank you, honey. Thank you.
Of course.
But like, I feel like Leos, the stereotype is they're always like, look at me, I'm the center of attention. And they have this idea of like self-importance, but like, I don't know, not every Leo I know is like that in a very like boastful, arrogant way, because I know of Leos who have strived for like popularity and areas of like high visibility, but in a more like structured manner, like through school elections and clubs and stuff. But Leos still tend to be very flirty and funny.
Yeah, I would kind of agree. I wouldn't say Leos are like the type of people who like seek attention and try to make the world center around them. That's another sign that we'll get to later.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, and that's
I'm
all
e-
I have to say about that.
okay, I'm excited to see who that. I'm excited to hear the tea on that sign. So next is Sagittarius, which is our dad.
Yeah, I like Sagittariuses. I think they're very, very fragile, but I think they're very good at heart. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
And I think that they're very smart people
Yes, I
who
agree.
are determined.
You just described every Sagittarius I know practically.
Yeah, same. Like all the ones I know are very determined people, but like at heart, they're very good, honest, smart, and
Mm-hmm.
aware human beings.
Mm-hmm. And Sagittarius is the most masculine sign. And there's like their sign has like a connection to like travel and money.
Nice, very nice.
So
Um, what's the next sign? It's Aries.
Aries.
I honestly have to tell you, every single, you know, I'm not, I don't drown myself in the astrology thing. You can probably tell, but out of every single person, like Aries I've met, they're oh so nice people, like such nice people. I mean, like I always find whenever I'm not one to be like best friends with an Aries, but I always am able to talk up a storm with one and just get to know one and like feel comfortable around them. So that's all I have to say. I just really like Aries. I feel like they're
It's
super
really
positive people.
funny you say that, Joe, because Aries is Libra's sister sign
Oh, that's
and
crazy.
opposites attract. So that's probably why you're so attracted to Aries.
Yeah, it's insane.
And because like Georgia's in Aries. And remember, that's what we talked about, like why you two have such like a witty banter.
Yeah. Well,
Mm-hmm.
Georgia's Georgia, you know.
True,
Do they
true.
do are they gonna watch this?
Probably, I mean, they've been listening to other episodes,
Oh,
so
that's good.
unless they
Hopefully
skip
they
it,
do.
hey, Georgia.
They better not fucking skip. Okay. What's the next one, Sarah?
Earth signs. You know, hun, you're the first guest to come on this and like truly pick apart my structure. I appreciate that.
Oh, that's good.
Okay, so earth signs. They are like grounded and the ones that bring us down to earth. They are mostly conservative and realistic, but they can also be very emotional. They are connected to our material reality and can be turned to material goods. They are practical, loyal, and stable, and they stick by their people through hard times. And that's Capricorn, Virgo, and Taurus. So, Capricorn.
Capricorn, Virgo, and Taurus. Okay, here's the thing. Uh, Taurus, fine, average, media. I don't really have a lot to say about Taurus. I don't know any Tauruses, but I know there's
Same.
obviously there's some good ones out there somewhere, but I don't know any, so I can't really
I know
speak
like
on that.
one Taurus. Like
Like,
supposedly they're my sister sign, and like I know I get along really well with the one Taurus I know. Shout out to Max Cortezi, but like I can't name any other Tauruses.
yeah, exactly. And then with Capricorn, um, same thing is kind of with Capricorn. Like, like that's the it's interesting because with Earth signs, I don't really like. I don't spend I have a couple of Virgo friends I know, and I'll talk about Virgos later. But
Mm-hmm.
Capricorns, I'm not like I don't really just tend to spend my time around them as much. But I like I said with the Taurus, there's good people wherever you go, and there's bad people. So there's good
Mm-hmm.
Capricorns and there's bad Capricorns. So that's really all I have to say about that.
Well, talking about Taurus and Capricorns, I feel like I know more people who are Taurus and Capricorn moons. And that I honestly see more. So, like, get this, Joe. So, Taurus, they're like, they tell the hard truths and they see the beauty in life. And they're kind of like a bougie ass bitch, but in a way that's either like super conservative with money or like find comfort in reality. And
Right.
so, guess who's a Taurus moon? Dad.
Who? Oh, our father.
Yeah. So his emotions are grounded in materiality. If
That's
you think
very
about that.
cool.
And then Capricorns are like ruthless for money and like achievement, but kind of in a dark, cynical way. Like, damn, who hurt you, man? And they're all like, I run the show. And dad has like a Mars in Capricorn, which is like motivation.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
like, I feel like I don't know people who like fully embody Capricorn and Taurus, but like I see those aspects in people.
Mm-hmm. Oh, is that somebody's honking outside your apartment? Was that a honk?
I live right next to the Holland Tunnel, so like it always gets really like crowded during rush hour.
Did they crash?
I've never seen it, but
I
last
would have.
night at 1
I would have
a.m. they were
crashed.
literally honking so loud.
Yeah, I would have crashed. Anyway, Virgos.
Virgos?
Virgos. I really like Virgos. I think they're really good
Me
people.
too.
They're fun to be around. They're really sweet. They're very kind, and yeah, I just really like Virgos.
There's something about it that it's like Virgos. I'm learning about like different sides of Virgos because like Virgo, like the sign is like the Virgin. And so you like, I don't know, that has its own like connotation, but they're actually very like picky and like conservative, and they like see the plain truth in situations, but they're not super rebellious
Okay, I agree.
sometimes. But but like, yeah, they're all very sweet people.
Right, they are indeed. Indeed, they are.
I've never met a Virgo I didn't like.
Same.
Shout
Well,
out
I
to
mean,
the Virgos.
probably, but I don't. When I meet somebody, I don't say, "Hey, what's your astrology?"
But anyway, ready to move on to air signs?
Yes,
All right. And this is where you are, Joe.
I hate air signs. Yeah, never mind.
So you hate yourself.
No, well, listen. Actually, You haven't gotten to the part where I destroy one of the air signs. So yeah.
Okay, ready? So air signs are rational, social, and love communication and relationships with other people. They are thinkers, friendly, intellectual, communicative, and analytical. They love philosophical discussions, social gatherings, and good books. They enjoy giving advice, but they can also be very superficial, known for pushing their feelings deep down inside or far away.
That's true.
There's Aquarius, Libra, and Gemini. So which is the sign you have an issue with?
You are gonna laugh when I say it. Libra.
Bruh, which is literally what you are.
Which is what I am. Here's the thing. Number one, Libras are very, 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 very beautiful people. Like very like attractive human beings. No. Obviously. But the issue with Libras is the ones that I know. Not me. I'm being honest here. Not me. But with a lot of Libras I know is they always like they're kind of very negative with their actions. And here's the thing. The thing that I feel like I've noticed with a lot of Libras and myself too, I'll be honest, is sometimes they like to engage and kind of like be like a leader, try to like get the attention of everybody, trying to like be the leader of the group, trying to be like the alpha, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, because Libras, they have to be the most popular in the room.
That's what I'm saying.
And you're the same way too, bruh.
That's what I'm saying. Did you not hear me say that? They all try to be alpha. So what I don't like about Libras is when some other Libras are so annoying with like the way they like just like whenever they try it in assert superiority, it just like makes me so enraged. I don't know many Libras that I like.
This is very Sigma male talk.
Sigma?
Yeah, Sigma males are alpha males. Like they can be alpha males if they choose to, but they think they're better than it all. So they stay outside of the structure.
Right. Okay.
But anyway.
Next week we'll be talking about alpha, beta, sigma, delta. Jesus. Anyway, that's Libra. That's what I have to say about Libra.
Yes. But you got to admit, they're very funny people, typically.
Oh, hysterical.
And because they're people pleasers. And this pertains to like, school, work, relationships. They're super flirty is also the other stereotype. And because their symbol is the scales. This is interesting. Because their symbol is the scales, they're like supposed to be like interested in fairness. And like the internet says supposedly Libras would be like good judges or police officers. And I was kind of like, yeah. But get this.
What?
Our grandpa, who was a juvenile officer for years and years, Libra sun and Libra moon.
Isn't that crazy? It's insane, right?
Literally, when he was over like sometime in the summer, I asked him if I could look up his birth chart, and I saw that and I was like, whoa.
That's crazy. Yeah.
So yeah, Libras.
And then what's the other one?
Then Aquarius.
Aquarius? No.
They're very creative people. There are a lot of Aquarius people that I really, really like and that like are besties and I really like them. And then there are other Aquarius people that I'm like, ugh.
The scary people.
Well, because the idea is that they're like super creative and they want everyone in the room to know that they're unique and open-minded people. And it's like that idea of like being unique and open-minded and creative is cool, but like needing to everyone to see it all the time is sometimes like, whoa.
Exactly. If you're an Aquarius, please keep social distance 6 feet, please. Thank you.
Bruh. That doesn't apply to all Aquarius. I have some very good Aquarius friends, but also my moon is in Aquarius. I think I don't know if I'm an Aquarius in one of them. I have no idea. I don't think you have any Aquarius in your chart, but we'll look at that later.
Yeah, no, I don't hate anybody. Just to clarify.
You're so funny. I don't hate anybody, but I have big issues with people.
Okay, and then yes, that's true.
And then Gemini. So Gemini, that's the one. Funny that we ended on Gemini. That's the one that gets like the worst rap of all. And not all of it is justified. The idea is that they're like, some people like, because the symbol is like twins, you know, and so then people are like, oh, they're two-faced, and then like to point to like the celebrity Geminis who like have issues, like Kanye, and be all like, see, he has all of those issues because he's a Gemini. But actually, Gemini are very artsy and creative, and they're intellectual and chatty, and they're like very flexible people who go with the flow.
Yes, I agree. Very unique, interesting people. You know, it's interesting that you say this because it's like, you know, talking it like throughout my younger years, I think I've maybe had a crush on 5 people, and 3 of them were 3 or 4 of them were Geminis. Isn't that crazy?
Wow.
What an interesting correlation.
Interesting. Interesting. Good for you, bro.
Okay, yes, thank you.
You're afraid I'm gonna expose you.
No, I was gonna say, if you name names, I will fly to New York right now and pull you out of your apartment and like throw you on the streets.
Don't worry. You know, I have the power to edit out whatever I want at will.
Oh, okay, that's good.
But that also means I can edit in an addendum saying who, you know, people are.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. Okay, that's all the signs. That's all the signs.
Okay, so want to look at our charts?
Oh, we're looking at our charts now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Take out your Snapchat, bro. We like looking at Snapchat because, I don't know, it's just easy to read. And then I've heard CoStar is wrong. Do you want to read yours first, Joe, or mine?
Yes, I would like to read my chart first. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to read you my chart. And, you know, I'll try to keep it brief, but I'll keep it concise. That way it's not...
You only need to see the planets and the signs. No need for like...
I'm a sun in Libra. I'm a moon in Sagittarius. I'm a rising in Scorpio. Probably could tell. I'm a Mercury in Scorpio. I'm Venus in Virgo.
Your intimacy and relationships is the Virgin. Keep going.
I'm Mars in Libra. I'm Jupiter in Libra. I'm Saturn in Cancer. I'm Uranus in Pisces. What?
Keep going.
Sarah, isn't this a PG podcast and you're laughing?
You're the one that put the emphasis on it.
I did not
That
put
was
any
all
emphasis on it.
you.
It's not my fault they wrote the English language like that. Neptune in Aquarius. Pluto in Sagittarius. And that's it.
Nice. Okay, let me read mine. So I've got Sun in Scorpio, Moon in Aquarius, Rising Aries, Mercury in Scorpio, Venus in Sagittarius, Mars in Libra, Jupiter in Gemini, Saturn in Taurus, Uranus in Aquarius, and
So you
Neptune
did it
in
too?
Aquarius. And Pluto in Sagittarius. No, I didn't do the emphasis you did.
I didn't do an emphasis. I said it right.
You said your anus. We'll
said
play back the
Uranus.
tapes.
Yeah,
We'll
yeah,
play back the tapes. But anyways,
Yeah.
do you agree with your chart? Is there anything in your chart that you're like, eh?
Yes, I agree with my chart.
Is there anything you wish you had in your chart?
Sanity.
You're funny, honey.
Yes, thank you.
I feel like the thing I don't understand, like I understand the big six, which like for people who don't know, the big six is like the sun, the moon, rising, Mercury, Venus, and Mars. But I don't understand Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto. Like, and Jupiter in Gemini, I'm not really sure what that means because Jupiter rules quote unquote expansion. And so my expansion is quote unquote playful, expressive, and curious. And it says Jupiter is the luckiest and most generous planet. The more ideas and information you absorb, the more inspired and energized you are. Oh, I guess that is me. Books, blogs, magazines, you find so much joy and inspiration in all of them. That's true. Literally me.
I agree.
As like
literally
a history
you.
minor. Literally, bruh. So, shall we look at our compatibility?
Sure.
So, some vocab terms so that people know. Conjunction, when two planets are in conjunction, that means it's the same. And so when there's similarity, you like get along. And then when two planets are in opposition, that means it's their sister signs. So like they're at opposite parts of the year and therefore opposite parts of the zodiac cycle. And in that sense, opposites attract. And then trine means that they're 1/3 of the cycle apart or 120 degrees. And it indicates harmony and release between those two signs and can reveal an innate talent. When something is square, that means it's 90 degrees apart. And this is a strong effect, and it integrates two areas of life. However, it creates like point of choice with opportunity cost. And it's action-oriented, but in a way that has a lot of tension. And then when two planets are in sextile, it means it's 60 degrees apart. And it's kind of a less intense version of trine, where there's easy communication between these two aspects and can have like hidden talents. But there's so much ease between these two planets that there's no like action. So are you ready to look at our compatibility?
You lost me at, are you ready to look at your compatibility the first time? But you got me hooked again. So yes, to answer your question, yes.
I know. It's confusing, but hold up. So.
Oh, no, don't explain it to me again.
I won't. You'll just have to Google it for yourself and try to make your own explanation.
You know, it's funny because I think you've talked about like compatibility dozens of times, but I just try to like think about something else. Like, oh, you know, like counting my sheep, 1 sheep, 2 sheep, 3 sheep, 4 sheep.
Bruh, are you silencing the voice of women?
No, but you're giving a platform for men to speak, so I don't know what's worse.
Bruh. Okay, so my Venus is in Sagittarius and your moon is in Sagittarius. So that's conjunction. So the description for that is opening up to one another about delicate things is easy since your values and priorities are in sync and your emotional bond is very strong.
That means we're compatible. That's awesome.
And then my rising is Aries and your sun is Libra, which is an opposition. So, you know, like fun, opposites attract.
Literally.
And then there's similarity between my sun and your rising, because I'm a Scorpio sun, you're a Scorpio rising. So that's another similarity. And then we both have another thing in conjunction. My Mars. Oh, what the heck?
Don't you have something in Aquarius?
Yes, but like starting first with Mars, I think we both have Mars in Libra, which is also your sun, which is also your Jupiter.
Indeed.
So that's a lot in common.
Yep.
And the description for just the similarities of Mars in Libra and your Jupiter in Libra, it says, this is an exciting and fiery combination that can produce a lot of chemistry and maybe even some competitiveness between you two.
I don't know why there's competitiveness because I just know I'm better. So if that's what you're suggesting, then that's what I'm answering with.
Exhibit A. So then your moon and my rising is in trine. And this makes harmony. Then my Mars and your moon are square, which means that it can lead to arguments and hurt feelings.
Yes. Interesting.
It says you don't necessarily mean to be insensitive, but you can be dismissive of Joe's emotions. Am I dismissive of your emotions?
No, but I feel like, no, honestly, no. I was going to say no, but I feel like I just dismiss you, but I don't dismiss your emotions. I just ignore you because you're chuggy.
Exactly. Exactly.
Kidding. You know I don't ignore you.
Bruh, you literally have been making all these jokes about like every time you speak, I block you out.
No, every time I speak, I just like my heart starts palpitating and I wonder if I need to go to Kaiser. But it's just like I'm not used to it because I was so used to it living with you at home that whenever I talk to you again after not like being with you, like I need to get used to the feeling. That's all. So it's just so surreal for me each time.
That was a great joke. The only thing wrong about that though is we don't have Kaiser, we have Sutter.
No, we have Kaiser.
No, we have Sutter.
You shouldn't be telling people what we have, you know.
Oh my God.
Sarah, it's a dog eat dog world.
Bruh, you're ridiculous. But yeah, there is sextile between both of our moons. And this is a great aspect for friendship because we can both let our vulnerable sides out around each other without fear of criticism or judgment.
That's awesome. Aw. Looks like that's compatibility, right?
Yeah. It says awesome. Overall, we're 33% similar.
Jesus, that's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go to therapy practice. Because of that one. 33. Are you shitting me?
I'm not shitting you.
Oh my God.
Is it so bad to be similar to your sister?
I think we need to take an intermission right here. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Okay, what's next?
Well, let's just talk about like astrology culture.
Astrology culture, okay.
Yeah, so like just the fact that like people like reading the signs and stuff. Do you read daily horoscopes? How do you feel about them?
No, I don't read daily horoscopes because I choose to have hobbies.
Bruh.
Literally, I do. I mean, I think it's important, but it's like I don't spend my I don't wake up and I don't like sit on the toilet saying, "Oh goddamn, what's it gonna say on my horoscope today?" Like, I don't do that, you know?
Well, it's funny because I used to read horoscopes like in high school. But I think that like when you read the like the stereotype about like girls reading horoscopes in high school is like only reading their horoscope to see how it affects like them and their crush. But like recently, like this year, I've started listening to like a horoscope podcast from Parcast, Parcas. It's like Scorpio Daily Horoscope. And so I don't even have to read it. I just listen to it for 2 minutes while I'm making breakfast. And it's actually really nice. And it's actually like, okay. And thankfully, it's not like random
Yeah,
because
that's
I feel like
awesome.
there's a difference between horoscopes that are like, oh my God, money is gonna fall out of the sky today, and someone you know who is an Aquarius is gonna punch you in the face. But this horoscope I listen to is like, oh yeah, this planet is in here and this planet is in there, so you might feel a little bit tense, but like don't stress out and just like work hard, okay? And so I don't know, it kind of like ends up being more motivational than about divination or anything.
Nice. You know, but with going in regards to actual culture itself, a lot of people do reject astrology.
Yeah, why do straight boys be hating?
Well, because a lot of people use astrology, I've noticed, to justify, like we've talked about, people use astrology to read people, but people use astrology to also come to hasty generalizations about other people, and
Mm-hmm.
that's why a lot of people don't are kind of deterred from it because it's like, oh, like I don't know how many times I've heard the phrase, "Oh, he's a Leo, girl, run away." Like
Yeah.
I hear that a lot. I hear that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Or what was the other one? Oh, he's a what was it? What did somebody said something the other? Oh, this is what they said. Oh, he's a Gemini. Ooh, hashtag nasty, or like it was something like that. So
Uh-huh.
and it's just like people like come to such weird like generalizations about like people using star signs, and that's why I think a lot of people are kind of deterred from it because they don't feel like it's actually genuine, and it does more negative, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or like that's how they see it. They don't see it the way that you see it and some other
Yeah.
people see it. Because honestly, there are some people who are not obsessed, but who are very interested in astrology like you, but they
Mm-hmm.
they use it way different than you for more kind of, I would say, negative purposes,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Well, and because there certainly is like, and I was thinking about this while like looking up the history of it, like obviously it has big root in like a lot of religious and cultural practices. And so like the people like the BuzzFeed articles, that's the thing is like I think that there's like a lot of fun stuff about horoscopes, and I think that most people today like see, like watch the TikToks that are like what this full moon in Taurus means, you should manifest, hee hee. And then like the BuzzFeed articles that are like what month are you, or sorry, that's dumb. What I was about to say, what month are you based on your zodiac sign? That's literally the whole point. But like, what Disney princess are you based off of your zodiac sign? Or what European country are you based off of your zodiac sign? And I think that's just like more fun and just like kind of like a cute little like fun thing to speculate and all. But like, what's completely different are like, the ancient Mayans looking to the stars and using actual like astrological and astronomy tools, and the Renaissance and medieval court astronomers predicting when the next eclipse will be. And so like certainly what people criticize about astrology today and like people who like astrology, they wouldn't go back to like the ancient Greeks and be like, and Copernicus and be like, huh, what you're doing's dumb. Like, they're two kind of different things.
Right. Mhm. Yeah, that's awesome.
That being said,
That
can
being
we
said,
say people aren't truly into astrology if they're not busting out astrolabes and telescopes.
Well, absolutely. Like people aren't like fully into astrology unless they really, 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 really take time to understand it and to read about it and to learn about it and to observe about it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So I would say yes, of course.
So this brings us to the next segment of the podcast. It is called
Convince Chad.
So imagine this. You're hanging out with the boys and you mentioned that you're a Libra and one of them is like, ew, that's so dumb and fake, man. And only girls like that stuff. He's, classic Gemini man. And then in Chad's language, you got to convince him that astrology is worth way more credit than he's giving it and is actually pretty fun. Go ahead.
So now you want me to just pretty much just talk like the way I would talk to Chad?
Yeah, bro.
Honestly, here's the thing. It's one of those things where it's like, listen, to all the people watching this, my best advice to give to you as a human being is live your life. Some people aren't going to believe the same things you're going to think. You're going to have disagreements, and you can try and help that other person for sure. But at the end of the day, some people are just stupid, and it's not up to you to try and fix them. If you want to fix them, man, great for you. But at the end of the day, it's not your job. So, and because it's not your responsibility, it shouldn't become a burden. So, with that being said, karma will do its thing towards badness, bad people, and you just live your life the way you're doing it, bruh.
Good for you for acknowledging that we don't even have to convince Chad. And maybe Chad's not worth convincing.
Chad is not worth convincing, but I convinced them because that's the thing. That's why I'm so that's why I'm above the whole, that's why I'm better. See, but I just choose not to exert it. That's going back to the Sigma thing.
You're just roguish, charm wins them all.
Exactly.
Well, thanks so much for coming on the show, Joe.
Thank you, Sarah. It was so much fun to be on the show. And you don't have to wire. You could just wire the money to my bank account.
There is no payment.
Whatever tips you get, you could just give them all to me.
I have not set up an official A Bro's Guide to Glitter Venmo, but
we'll see. Next time, next time we do a podcast, we can do a podcast of the culture of brothels.
I mean, it is a practice dominated by women.
Exactly, but you know why it's dominated by women, though?
Because of the demand.
Mm-hmm. And you know who causes the demand, right?
Men.
Exactly. That's a great one to talk about. Well, thank you, Sarah. Thank you so much, and to all the viewers at home that are listening, thank you so much. There were parts of this that were probably hard to listen to, but again, if you have any messages, just Venmo me.
See you next week on A Bro's Guide to Glitter.
Is that what you want? Do you want me? I mean, how much do you want me to say, Sarah? Because I mean, if you pay me more, I'll say more.